Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We are live. What up, though? Welcome to Dear Black Gay Man Podcast. I'm all in the wrong place. Welcome to Black Light Matters, the podcast where black light shines abundantly. I am Jay the Gentleman. That's at JAI the Gentleman on IG, TikTok, and Facebook. This is
Rah the Wizard. Okay, that's RAHTHEWIZARD on Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, that's it. Hey, y'all.
Hey. Before we get into the conversation, be sure to hit the thumbs up button on YouTube and share this episode to your timeline. We will be here for a good time, not a long time, and we're about to explain why. Ra, how are like before we started, we were talking about you are in process.
Yes.
I am in process. What are you processing?
I am processing the nuances of being in intimate space with friends or the development of intimate space that just arises in a close friendship, right? Or that can arise in a close friendship. And then learning how to navigate what, is what I find to be okay versus what they find to be okay, right? And also just the convolutedness of okay, I desire to be friends, and yet we also share this intimate space, and those two things require different things, right? What is my
Wait, wait,
it's a
wait. Are you
lot.
talking about like a friend with benefits? Is this a friend with benefits?
I no, I mean we ain't so benefits assume you boom bazooka jumping, aka freaking, right? We ain't freaking. But we do share intimate space.
What is intimate space if you're not fucking?
Intimate space is well, it looks different for different people. For us, it's like we were talking on the phone every day. We are like calling each other just to share all the little minutia of life. Also like, you know, just being close, intimate.
Isn't that just being a friend though? Like, what is the distinction between being a friend and
Mm,
that?
I think the that's a great question. It feels different shit. Like I know that we could fuck. I wouldn't necessarily want to boom bazooka Joe my friend. Just on some friend shit. I mean, I
Are
have
you are you clear on your intentions with this person?
this is what I realized today that I have not been of integrity. My words and my actions have not aligned because the way that I said I want to develop a friendship, but we are doing courting. This is we are in the process of courting, and I don't necessarily want that. All right, that ain't it because yeah,
How did you get there? This is
um
so interesting to me. How did you get into the process of courting with someone you don't want to court?
it just kind of the momentum and the energy just kind of roll that way. We have a really beautiful rapport. We have a like really there's a sweetness to us that I enjoy, right? And he also brings out this brings he inspires the lover in me, right? And the lover in me just wants to love. I'm a fucking lover. You know what I'm saying? I do desire to be in loving romantic relationship. However, I desire to have a basis of a friendship first because I want to know you, right? I feel like when we start courting, we kind of project all of our wants and our desires on that courtship, right? Basically you're almost like molding a person to be the lover that you want them to be when you decide to make that official agreement that we're gonna date, you know? And I'm like, honey, I'm over here building my queendom. I'm building my empire. I do not my intention is friends because I'm focused. My intention is my motherfucking queendom.
But if you're into it sounds great that you're saying your intention is friends, but how do you stumble into courting somebody if your intention is friends?
Because I have not been diligent in maintaining the clarity of what that is for me, right? Because I also what's the word? Encourage his romantic side. I also encourage the way that he speaks to me in like courtship. You know what I'm saying? In like we can date, and I encourage it. I like it. You know, I like to play with words. But I now understand that when you allow, because words are spells, bitch. When you allow people to create the life that they desire with their words toward you, then you also get caught up in that spell. What? Why are you looking like that?
So like we have talked about how you have been celibate for a long time, a
Mm-hmm.
year and something, like no intimate contact with another man. Is is this kind of lack of clarity because you have been so isolated in your own intimate space? It's just been you in there.
Yeah.
And maybe your spirit is telling you that you yearn for that deeper connection that somewhere in your head you're saying I don't want.
That could be very, very true. I mean, I know that I desire that, right? I know there is no question about that. I want to be and I desire to be in a loving, um, monogamous relationship. However, that cannot get in the way of what I'm building. And I'm very clear on that. Right. So I think that I'm trying to figure out what is the balance between those two things, because my work life, my career, my queendom that I'm building is of the utmost importance to me. And that's not that
But
a lover cannot.
but
Oh, go ahead.
but it sounds like you're saying that those have to be on separate sides of the scale. What if they're both the same side of the scale? One enhances the other and has no detraction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that depends on the person that you're with who is enhancing that thing. I don't think that everybody just
Why can't it
automatically
depend
enhances.
on you? Why
Huh?
can't it depend on you?
Well, this is friend, this is how I'm finding my balance, god damn it. I'm in process. I'm figuring it out.
Well,
Shit.
I mean, I would only offer that it would be one thing if your career was something external to you. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you were a lawyer or a doctor and your career took you away from you and put you in a space where you have to perform something. But your career is you. Rah the Wizard is the queendom. Raw crystals and all the things that you do are you. They're one and the same. And so if the underpinnings of your queendom is you and this person enhances you, they bring out the you-ness of you. They allow you to connect you to him. Then it sounds like they're all the same thing. They're all focused on that. And it really sounds like what you're trying to balance is you over here and celibacy over here and figure out where those two things connect. And again, I'm not trying to say that I'm not an advocate for celibacy. I believe whatever your level of sexual risk is, you should lean into that. But it sounds like 4 episodes now, your spirit has been saying, I want to connect. I want to connect. I want to be in love. I want to do this. I want to do that. And your head keeps saying, but I'm celibate. And your head is the one saying, I got to find a balance, when your spirit is saying, your spirit is showing you people, person, and opportunity, person to connect to, person to talk to about connection, opportunity to talk about connection. Your spirit is giving you all these opportunities to connect, and your head is saying, "Oh, but I'm celibate though." So where's the balance?
I don't the celibacy thing, I have a rule about boom join anybody anyway. Like that we already have a time limit on that. That's just a natural thing for me. So it's not about the celibacy. It's not about the celibacy. It's
So what are you trying to find
mm,
balance between?
yes, it's the balance of time. So let me be clear. So this person desires to have more quality time together, right? And at this
Okay.
and when we first started talking, I had much more time. You know, we were able to have 3 hour conversations. We could do that because I had the space. Now, a bitch in focus. I don't have the space. It won't always be this way. It's just this way right now. And because they desire to have more quality, what I heard from our conversation this rising is that they desire to have more quality time, not time where they are um, sharing my attention with them and other things that I'm doing, that I'm navigating, right? I'm like, all right, cool. I feel you.
Hmm.
Understood. I got you. I got you. So that means we're going to have less frequent times because this is what I need to do right now.
Hmm.
Um, but also, this has been the sensitivity for this is for me is this has been um this has been a conversation that I've had with past lovers, right? So it's not that it's just this time, it's just that it's the cycle of this thing. And so I'm figuring out, okay, well, what does that mean for me for real, right? I do desire to connect.
Okay.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
That's
And I
something totally
also
different. Okay, I get that. I totally get that.
yeah, yeah. So that's me.
So really, it sounds like you're trying to. It sounds like you're trying to figure out how to make all these things work together.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I was getting hung up on that word balance. That's where I was. Cause it
Mm.
didn't sound like you were looking for balance. Or it sounded like the thing that you wanted to offset these things was not the thing. But really you're trying to figure out how these puzzle pieces fit together in the landscape of your life and where you're going.
Yes. Yes.
And that's where you're in process. Yeah?
Yes.
So then let me ask a bigger question because then we can transfer to why I'm so low energy today.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think that that is the plight of all of us, figuring out how to make love and life work together. Um, Not that you are a representative of every gay person, but do you how what are some of the questions that come up in the figuring out process?
Yeah.
You are career focused, but you also want connection. And what are some of the factors that you're actually weighing to work through that in your head?
Well, a lot of my questioning of myself today has been, are you willing to soften that? Whatever it is, whether it's like, okay, I'm really hard about my working right now. Can you soften that a little bit? Right? I listen to the person that I'm in this conversation with, and I listen to my body. Right? How is my body responding to that? Okay, am I being defensive? Can I soften that? Right? Do you want to soften that? Is that what? And I'm learning, like, what are my boundaries? Right? What are my non-negotiables? You know, and then being able to communicate them. Now, we haven't. Me and this person has not had a conversation since I've been processing all day. So the next conversation gonna be real fucking different. Gonna be real different because I've had a lot of unpacking. Um,
Somebody said in the chat box, they said this nail accoutrement is everything.
Thank you, darling. These are Rah Crystals, RAHCRYSTALS.com. Okay. I make them all by hand.
But it sounds like what you're talking about is self awareness. Oh, that somebody is black. I know who Blake is, Balake. But It sounds like what you're talking about is self-awareness. Like I teach a class where we talk about self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation, right?
Okay.
And self-awareness is knowing what you're feeling when you're feeling it. And as you just described, we have cues. Our body will understand our feelings a lot faster than our brain can make sense of them. And so like you asking yourself, how does that feel in my body and whatnot? I think that's I can't ever think of a time where I was in process in a relationship and was able to check in with myself. I don't think I've ever been dating someone as a self-aware individual. So the
Mm.
fact that you're doing that is pretty fucking amazing.
I appreciate that, babe. I just got here. This is my first time having this experience because all the other ones was I was getting wrapped up. I in the past I have a tendency of being overly consumed by my love, right? And so I think that a part of this is also a reaction to that because I fell into us. I don't want to fall into anybody. I desire to rise, right? And so in those previous relationships, I would what they desired, what they wanted, I just agreed to, right? And because I'm smaller and I have more of a feminine energy, and the beings that I'm typically in romantic space with have a more masculine energy. Not that they are masculine, they just have a more masculine energy that expresses itself in certain ways. Um, they would dominate, right? And I would allow myself to be dominated. Um, and that I just
That's
ain't in it.
big though. That's big. Were you the type to lose yourself in a relationship?
Yes. I mean, like
What did losing yourself look like before? Losing yourself.
before it looked like um, always being agreeable. That is the primary thing. Always being agreeable. Whatever they say, even if I didn't want to do it, I would make myself want to do it. I would figure out a way why it's okay that we do this thing that I don't want to do because they want to do it.
That's big.
And so now,
I was the exact opposite of that in my
mm,
last relationship. My last relationship, he said he was a bottom, and so I thought that meant I have to be this. I had to perform topness, and I had to be dominant. I had to be the person that he could lose himself in, right? And I'm not that. I'm at best I'm a switch. At best I am a submissive top
mm,
that has dominant sub qualities. Like I'm not the guy that's gonna be like strong and hard as one would stereotypically say dominance is. And to the same degree, but just the reverse of it, I lost myself in performing that. I lost myself in showing up in ways that I thought he wanted me to show up, when really I was denying who I actually am, and what I really want to do. And so I totally get when you say that you're working toward not losing yourself in this current situation. Somebody said, "Come on, sub top, that's the vibe." I'm here for that.
mm. I have a question. So, at what point did you find your balance for you to not have to perform a role, but you just be yourself?
Like it took a long time for me to figure out what that was, because I've never been in a relationship. Like it took I was 35 before I ever said, "Oh, this is who I am." And it started like at 34. I started having like a mantra every year. Like 34 was give me more, 35 was who gonna check me, 36 was that's cute for you, 37 is all gas. Like every year I have a new year's resolution that happens on my birthday. But I had to go through a whole year of who gonna check me before I figured out, oh, this is what I like. And the kind of the underpinnings of who gonna check me was I really gave myself permission to do me, like to do me fully. Cause who in the world is gonna check me? The people that could actually check me, I would never say that to. My mama, my best friend, my sister, my brother, my niece. They ain't never gonna hear me say who gonna check me. But for everybody else, every other motherfucker on this planet, who the fuck is gonna check me? Do you? And in doing so, I learned that while I don't bottom that often, like my shirt says, versus a top with ambition. But while I don't bottom that often, I don't ever feel the need to. It's a crop top. I'm wearing a crop top that says verse. Let me stand up so y'all can see.
Come on, please, please. I want this
Verse
shirt.
verse is a top with ambition. That's what
Yeah.
it says. But but so like I learned that I'm soft and cuddly and emotional and very vulnerable, but I love getting some sloppy head and I like being tied up and I embrace my fetishes. I embrace how I express. I embraced all those things. And I establish boundaries so I don't lose myself in the next dating situation that I stumble into. All of that was from who gonna check me? Who gonna check me?
Mm.
And it forced me to look inward and figure out, well, if I'm uncheckable, then what do I want to do with that? How do I want to navigate that? How do I want to show up in the world?
Okay, so what's this all gas? I'm very curious about that. And what does that entail?
Like if this is the so for everybody watching, like on my end, I see Facebook user. And so like when somebody said, "Oh, that's Blake," that somebody is Blake, there's like three Blakes that come up in my mind. One of them is top of consciousness, and if he's the one, he'll know this reference. But I've known this person for like 12 years, maybe 15. And in that 12 years, I have had 10 different careers. I've worked in public health. I've been an HIV tester. I've been a consultant. I've written web series. I have done a whole bunch of things and stopped because they lost their excitement. I never gave anything a full effort, full consistency, right? And so last year, when I said who gonna check me, I realized I like talking to people. I like interviewing people. I like having my podcast. So this year, I've said I'm going to pursue that version of myself, all gas. And so, Dear Black Gaming Podcast gave space to live streaming, gave space to our YouTube channel, gave space to Black Lives Matters, gave space to all these different things. I'm a consultant with, several different people, and I'm giving my career a full effort, all gas, no breaks, no slowing down, no excuses, no none of that shit.
You really fucking inspire me.
Well, thank
And
you.
like just from how we even met, you were shooting a web series, not a web series, a Roku series or something. And I had so much fun reading the script and interviewing, auditioning. There we go, auditioning for y'all, and then just to be able to be in this space with you. I see you, Monsieur David
Hmm.
Jumpman.
Thank you. Thank you. Marquise Harrison, real quick. He's in the chat box. Marquise Harrison. I don't know how his name pops up and nobody else's does. Because everybody else says Facebook user. But Marquise Harrison says, I'm here for this entire conversation. Love it and love you. Love you too,
Love you,
Marquise.
baby.
Um, like, I'm really curious. How did you and this person find each other?
They slid into my DMs. Slid into my DMs. And I'm not typically one to be like, I'm going to entertain this. But they again, I'm a curious person and I love great conversations. I'm Sapio, honey. Like to get in my drawers, you got to get in my mind. And honey, they got in my mind, and we had the most dynamic conversation, and I haven't had that with another black gay man in a long time. Besides you, you know what I'm saying? But it's different. It's different. You ain't sliding to a
It
big
is
D,
different.
you know.
I mean,
So
I did slide into your DMs the first time, but not
yeah.
for purposes of getting you
But
in your draws or anything.
right. So like, it's, and again, I don't typically, but it, I'm open. I'm open, and it is great. It's also allowing me to grow. I'm doing a lot of growing in this moment. Like,
Would you say that you're more open now than you were previously?
yeah,
What brought that on?
I softened. I softened.
You
I
keep
had a lot.
saying softened. Why is that the word? Were you hard?
I was hard. I was hard about like it needs to look like this. It needs to do this thing. I was very like regimented. Um,
Controlling.
I wouldn't say controlling. I prefer regimented. Okay. I wouldn't say controlling. Regimented.
That's a colorful way of saying controlling.
And so, anyway,
And this is coming from a control freak. Takes one to know one.
I mean, I have my moments. I desire things to be a specific way. Anyway, and so like what my lover looks like to me, he don't look like that. And so to be open to the possibility of this in itself is like, this is a thing. Like, okay, well, let me just allow myself to receive the blessing that is in front of me. Right. Soften. Soften. I can soften. I can soften.
Now, one thing I would say, because again, I don't know the person, but one thing I will say, and I literally, before we did this, I recorded an episode of the podcast, and I was talking about how um, being open, as you just explained it, is probably the most important part of dating that I have learned. Because every person that I date, whether I end up marrying them or they ghost me on the second date or their breath smells, every person is a lesson waiting for me to uncover them. And I need to, and being open to how this person shows up in my life is a part of learning the lesson, whatever it may be. And it might not be easy.
Right.
Sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes it's going to sting a little bit so that the universe it can tell you that you need to learn this lesson good so you don't go down this way again.
May I ask you, so have you always been open? And if not, what was your process of unfolding?
No, I have not always been open. I was like you described. My relationship needs to look this way. The person I'm dating needs to look this way. They need to act this way. They need to I had a whole lot of requirements for to to date me because I told you I can fuck you if you're cute and make my dick hard, but I can't venture into dating you unless you check some boxes. And eventually, what I had to learn was there's a huge difference between what I want and what I need. And leaning too much into my wants is controlling. That is where controlling comes from. I need certain things in order to feel fulfilled. Like I need someone who is uh black now. Like I need someone who has a cultural foundation. I need someone who can intellectually stimulate me. I need someone who is emotionally available. Those are needs. I want somebody who is chocolate. I want somebody who is, gives amazing head or has a wet booty. All those frivolous things. But when I lean too far over to the want side, then that's when I start trying to control what my relationships look like. I try to impute those things and force somebody to fit in that space when they don't. They just won't. They can't. Because what I want is impossible. Getting everything I want from somebody is impossible.
Okay. I disagree. I disagree.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I do. I think that you can have both what you want and you need in a person. Now, what that looks like, I think will change over time. Because a person can, like, we are ever evolving beings, right? And so if you and I are in relationship together, I do not expect you to be the same motherfucker 3 years from now, 2 years from 10, definitely not 10 years from now, because I know the fuck I won't be, you know. And so, who's to say that you won't become all of those things?
But who's to say I won't become something totally different? Like, who's to
Yeah.
say I can give you everything you want right now, and then I evolve, and I can give you all of your needs and none of your wants tomorrow? Are you then gonna walk away?
No, I think there's a. Well, again, if you're in relationship with someone, you're constantly in negotiation and in relation, right? And so I think it's
Right.
about being able to have those kinds of conversations about and understanding that we are in process and having conversations about what that process is and what might be required of that. What you laughing at?
This comment. It says, I think wet head is a need. Who wants Sahara sucking? Oh, that's good. Oh God, that one did it for me. Who wants Sahara sucking? Sahara sucking. Who wants it?
Who is
That
she?
pop. I don't know. It says Facebook user. I don't know how Marquise Harrison pops up with a picture and a name, but everybody else is Facebook user. I have to figure that out because I want to know who these people are saying these amazing things in the chat box. But go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
You were saying it's still Blake. Got it, blockade. Got it,
Being in
blockade.
process, transforming. Um, I feel like I need to go back. I need to go back because I don't confuse my goddamn self. Can you ask your question again?
So what happens if today I give you everything you need and everything you want, and
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow I evolve into somebody who gives you none of what you want but everything you need? How do you respond to that?
Do you mean me personally or one?
You.
Me? Well, shit. We in process. God damn it. I'm down. This is my thing. I'm motherfucking down for the ride. I'm down for the. Because there's going to be times where I'm not going to give that person what they need or what they want. It's going to change. It's going to shift. But if I, and even if I don't know that the possibility of them giving me everything that I want is there, if there is enough sustenance and satisfaction and joy and inspiration and expansion and growth in that, I'm down for it. You know, I know that I want to grow with someone, right? And transform and want space held for me and as well as hold space for their transformation. So I'm down for a process.
And see, I think that's where I disagree. I disagree for a second because I believe that joy in relationship comes from meeting my needs. And first, that means that I have to take the responsibility of identifying and being clear on what I need from someone so that I can define joy in a way that they can understand. That's the first thing. And the second thing is when they start meeting that, when they meet my needs, I have decided that I have felt that they meet my needs. Then I think that the resulting action is joy.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe wants go up and down. They come and they go. I might want a tall man, but who's to say you might not, you might break your neck tomorrow or stub your toe or something. You know, I might want a light skinned man. But who's to say that this beautiful chocolate man isn't going to stumble into my life and give me everything I need, but he doesn't meet this one want? I
Mhm.
might meet there could be any combination of things where someone can give me all of my needs, bring me joy in a relationship, but they might just not be packaged the way I thought they would be. And so to me, needs are the constant, joy is the constant. And
Mhm.
if, for instance, this relationship, this person can't, if bringing me that kind of joy, in a, as long as I've defined it and they can understand it, if bringing me that kind of joy is not priority to them, then they're not the person for me.
Ashay. Ashay. I feel you on that.
My job is to weather the storm when their wants go up and down, but meeting the needs, the absolute baseline of joy, that has to happen every single day for me. Otherwise, I could have had a V8.
So then, okay, I hear you. I get you on that. I get you on that. I feel that. And what do you need? Where is the space where when they are not able to provide that, when they just don't have the capacity because of, I mean, we go through life shit. Let's say somebody fucking died. God damn it, and they're just not able to provide you with, they cannot hold space for you because they're holding space for themselves. What then?
Um, are you asking me or in general?
I'm asking you, shit.
Okay, well, for me, my needs are like I went through a process. I do have a specific process, but my needs are set up to where it's not something you do, it's who you are.
Hmm.
To like I need you to be emotionally available, right? Yes, you might be more emotionally available tomorrow and less emotionally available in times of trial and whatnot. But you ain't gonna shut me out. Emotionally available is your baseline. It might there's variations of it over time because every we're humans, but that is something you are, not something you do. And so to that end, everybody, the person that I end up with, I truly believe that he will be able to meet my needs in who he is and not in what he does. Because what he does will change. One day he might bring me home flowers and that might give me the warm and fuzzies and I'll bend over. Who knows? One day he might have had a hard day at work and he didn't, and I need to activate. Now I need to bring him flowers or make him feel better. Those things go up and down all the fucking time. But again, for me, meeting my needs will bring me joy. And that has to be a constant in a relationship that I'm successful in. There's a whole bunch happening in the chat box.
Oh,
Bantu Otaku. Now I love that name because I am Bantu. I'm Luya, so we are a Bantu tribe. This person says we gotta grow together, and he also says people need grace sometimes. Sometimes it's all. I think it's all about moderation and boundaries. That resonates with me.
I'm sure. And learning how to navigate boundaries. You know what I'm saying? And understanding that boundaries can change. And they do. I do not have the same
I do
boundaries I
agree with
used to
that.
have. You know what I'm saying? My shit is, they're much more etched. God damn it. They're much more defined. There are some, my hard boundaries are my non-negotiables. Like my non-negotiable is gaslighting. Non-negotiable. I've dealt with that shit where a lover or shit, just people will be like, no, that wasn't what that was. I'm like, bitch, I know that's what that was. I ain't no goddamn fool. I know that's what that was. And then it'll come back up. So that was the moment. It was right there, you know.
You
So like
know,
gas.
I will say I will add to that. So, and I hope you don't excommunicate me for this, but like in the last episode of Dear Black Gay Men podcast, I talked about how I am guilty of gaslighting. And It's not clearly it's not something I'm proud of, but
Mhm.
I I did that shit for like the duration of my relationship, and it was rooted in insecurity. It was rooted in some deep seated hurt that I was, and it wasn't even hurt that my boyfriend committed. It was just some deep seated hurt that I couldn't, I didn't even know existed enough for me to even try to overcome. And I will say, in a relationship, gaslighting and the effects of it are probably, in my opinion, the worst thing you can do to a person. To where someone second guesses what they think and how their mind works and how they recall things and who they are, to a degree where sometimes it's who they are and how this relationship works. Like, for those things to be called into question, I think that is disgusting.
Sure.
And then the idea that I am guilty of this and I did it is, I'm surprised that my ex forgave me when I got it. I don't even know that I deserved that forgiveness, but he gave it to me. So shout out to him.
Well, I want to reflect back to you. You want to read that first, and then I do my reflection.
It says, that's where growth and grace comes in. That if you're working on it, you should cross that hard bound. I got that. I received that. That resonates with me. Thank you, Bantu. Shout out to
Mhm.
you. One day we're gonna have to meet some of these people.
I know, somewhere cute, ideally somewhere warm. Shit, I'm not about this cold winter shit. Mm-mm. But I just want to say that that is who you were at that time, and you truly did the best you could with what you had. Right? If you did not, you had to become someone else, with a person who does not gaslight, because you actually honor your own feelings, so that you're able to hold space for other people's feelings. Right? I've only I only know this version of you. I can't judge you on who you used to be, but who you used to be has made you who you are today, which is the best version of you so far. And I honor that.
Thank you. I
You're welcome.
appreciate that. Yeah. This episode is definitely not what I thought it was gonna be.
No.
But that was good. That was eye opening. I hope y'all, who all the people in the comments, I hope y'all enjoyed that one.
Yes. Oh, and before we chop out, I just want to say thank you so much, Jay. Thank you so much for like holding space for me, and being present with me and being in process with me. We got on here and I told you I'm in a sensitive space, and you like, well, shit, let's talk about it. And it's allowed me to just again soften and release, and also understand that I'm in such loving company, and I so appreciate you. I do. I do. I'm grateful for you.
Well, thank you. I One thing I will say when you logged in and I started seeing you, your energy, different energy was beaming off the screen, and like I could feel that you needed to get something off. You were holding something in that needed to be expressed, and that's how you get indigestion, emotional indigestion. So, Bantu said the world is healing and sending a virtual hug. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks,
I got a lot
Bantu.
to hug, so I gotta reserve my hugs for. I'll hug you in person as long as you're vaccinated.
Here you go.
But yes, that was good. I appreciate that conversation. That kind of that I too was low energy. My energy was off when we started, and getting in the process of conversation, getting my mind working, my spirit kind of lifted up. So I'm excited for that. Thank you for creating space for that to happen.
Thank you, babe.
So for everyone watching, thank you all for joining us. Black Light Matters is live on YouTube every Thursday at 8:30. We started a couple weeks ago. This is episode number 4 now. So make sure that you subscribe to Dear Black Gay Men on YouTube and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. You can follow at Black Light Matters on IG. We're not gonna do the after talk today, unfortunately. But Rah, if you want to let them know how to get in touch with you, and then we will be done.
Yes, you can follow me on IG at Rah The Wizard. Also, y'all, I have a meditation challenge coming up, 5-day meditation challenge. If you go to my Instagram, you can go and link in my bio. I have one for leaders and some shit, and I got another one for artists and entrepreneurs. I would love to have you. This is the process, right? Self-awareness, healing. We all need it. Shit. So
I'll take a meditation challenge.
Come on.
I should probably. Yeah. Let me go find it. I'll go find it. I want to thank you all. Thank y'all for watching with us, and we will see you next Thursday.
Peace.
Bye.